Good afternoon and welcome back to another ironic introduction to another video. Today I will be doing a buyer's guide for Cyber Weekend deals, Thronebreaker, Cavalier, and Uncollected. As always, there are timestamps in the description below if you'd like to jump to your respective progression title level. That said, before I jump into Thronebreaker and evaluating that, I would like to say that do keep in mind the units you get per dollar changes as you increase the amount of money you're spending on a certain pack. So for example, at the $5 unit bundle, you are getting 27 units per dollar, whereas at the Odins, at $100, you are getting 31 units per dollar. And this doesn't sound like a big difference because it's only 4 units per dollar, but if you bought $100 worth of the $5 unit bundle, comparatively speaking, this is a 400 unit difference that you are taking. So when you're looking at the deals, do keep that in mind. It might be worth taking a bit of a hit here or there in order to get that inflated unit value, or if you're spending on lower deals, do keep in mind you are losing units or not getting units as a result of purchasing lower deals. That said, Thronebreaker, for the $5 bundle, you get 200 6-star shards per dollar and 2,000 5-star shards per dollar. This is a pretty good amount in actual numbers, but if you're looking for 5 stars, this is the only place you can get 5 stars as a Thronebreaker player, but you're probably not if you're Thronebreaker. Additionally, the next one is the $10 bundle. This is where we see the first instance of Tier 5 CC. If you are looking for the highest raw value Tier 5 CC, the $10 bundle is where you need to go, because the $50 bundle and the $100 bundle offer selectors, but as a result, you get significantly less. Like even the $100 bundle, which is a 0.002 per dollar selector, is 4 times less the raw value of the $10 deal. So it's just kind of like, mathematically speaking, the $10 deal is a higher value as long as you're not like specifically trying to pinpoint a specific class. I do think a lot of people will end up taking selector, taking selectivity over raw value, quality over quantity, that kind of a thing. Additionally, the $10 bundle is the first of 2 places you have access to 6-star 6 stones. Between the 2 options being the 10 and the 50, this is a lower value in 6-star 6 stones, but you can spend less money this way. So if you're looking for those, this is where you need to look. For the $30 bundle, you have 333.33 6-star shards via a Nexus crystal. So even though this quantity might not be as much as the shards in the $50 bundle, there is again that selectivity, and that does add quite a bit of value to it. This is also where you get Tier 5 basic at 0.033. I will note that this is more Tier 5 basic than the Odin. So if you're literally just hunting Tier 5 basic, do think of 3 of the $30 bundles over the $100 bundle if you really only care about Tier 5 basic. As well as this is where you get 5-star 6 stones, and it's the only bundle that has 5-star 6 stones. So if you're looking for that, it's 3.33 5-star 6 stones per dollar. For the $50 bundle, we see an increase in 6-star shards. So you do lose selectivity here, but it is by far the highest quantity of 6-star shards. And for the Tier 5 CC, we see 0.001 selector, and then 70% of a 6-star 6 stone per dollar. So again, this is where you want to aim for 6-star 6 stones if that's what you're looking for, and just raw value 6-star shards. And then by far the Odin blasts everything else out of the water with a $100 shard Nexus selector. It lets you pick a class. This is definitely way more value than the rest as long as you're trying to pinpoint a specific champion. Additionally, we have Tier 5 basic here, notably less than third bundle, but still pretty decent at 0.02, and then Tier 2 alpha at 0.04 for Tier 2 alpha for picking up this bundle. This is the only place you can get Tier 2 alpha, so if that's something you're hurting on, which I know some people are, this is where you get it. And then for the Tier 5 CC, we also see the selector here as well. And then for the actual, in-game purchases, for 1,000 units, we see 50 5-star signature stones, 2,500 6-star shards, 22,000 or half a Tier 5 basic, a 5-star awakening gem, and a 5-star nexus for the 1,000 units. I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think this is worth it. It's actually really good, but for like a Thronebreaker player, it is hard for me to look at this and say, wow, that's really good. I just see so many 5-star resources here. It just makes me scratch my head. It is a 1,000 unit bundle. I just kind of rather have like shards instead of the Nexus hero. I'm going to be completely honest. I would rather have 10,000 even 5-star shards, or 15,000. It should be a featured crystal essentially. I think is more valuable than a Nexus hero crystal. Maybe that's just me, but from a Thronebreaker perspective, I think picking at the newer champions is more valuable than having selectivity in the basic pool. Just my thought. Additionally, I'd rather see tier 2 alpha here, given the incredible drought of tier 2 alpha in the money deals. I'm surprised to not see tier 2 alpha here in the 1000 bundle. For the 4000 bundle, this is normally where you start picking up your value. You get 10 6-star 6 stones, a rank 4 to 5 gem, a 6-star Nexus Hero Crystal on tier 5 basic. Now, I love seeing that 6-star Nexus Hero Crystal. I think the 6-star 6 stones is a little stingy, and I don't like seeing the rank up gem. I think I would have rather seen the tier 5 basic, tier 2 alpha separate. Again, just feels like a false or an inflated value on the tier 2 alpha that they're insinuating here or in placing here. Maybe I'm not in the same place. I know I'm not in the same place as a lot of people, because if you've done 6.4, there's a ton of tier 2 alpha there, but I can't help but notice no tier 2 alpha here. I also don't see tier 4 basic or tier 1 alpha, which are lower resources, but would have been very good additions to this in my opinion. So just right off the bat, looking at the 1000, 4000, I'm not impressed. And if you're looking to spend 5000 units, I personally think you're just better off pushing Abyss. For 5,000 units, it's about what it would take to run a first path of Abyss, maybe even less if you're a better player, or properly stock up. That could potentially be the units you need to push 2 paths, stocking up with revives and stuff. And this just doesn't seem worth it to me, but that's just my thoughts. And then the 10,000 deal, this is typically what you're pushing up to. So it's a rank 1 to 2 gem, 2 tier 5 basics, 10% tier 5 class catalysts, so 50% of a tier 5 CC, 25 6-star 6 stones, 1 featured 6-star hero crystal, which is pretty cool, and a 1.5 million gold pop, and for the extra 3,000 units, it's a 6-star awakening gem. So I would say if you're going to push all the way to the 10k deal, it's definitely worth it if you really, really need that tier 5 CC. If you don't really, really need that tier 5 CC, I actually wouldn't even bother. Looking at these deals for 15,000 units, if you haven't done Abyss of Legends yet, I'm just going to throw it out there, do Abyss instead. I don't think these are great. Actually, I'm super disappointed in these. Hey, maybe that's just me. I think the featured 6-star hero crystal should be a featured Nexus. Honestly, I'd just rather have a Nexus 6-star crystal. And this is the difference between the basic 6-star crystal and the basic 5-star crystal, is if you're Thronebreaker, you're probably looking for good 6 stars. So you'd rather have selectivity than be dipping into a new pool. Maybe that's just me. Or if you're, rather than, the 5-star where you really only care about the features eventually because you already have all the 5 stars. Honestly, even a featured 6-star Nexus Crystal would have made this spicy and would have made it look nice. And between the 2 bundles, you're looking at 35 6-star 6 stones, which I know there's more than that in the game. We're getting 10 a month just from the monthly. This should be 70 6-star 6 stones at the very least. I think it should be 70, if not more. So yeah, these bundles are just absolute garbage in my opinion. Let me know if you think differently, but looking at this, I'm not at all enticed. But I will say, if you're going to go all the way up to 18k, a 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal is very, very rare. I don't think we've seen it. This might be the first time. So if you're going to go up to 18k, I do think that 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal, given your unit stash, could potentially make this all worth it. Just kind of depends on where your roster is, where your 6-star pool is, whether or not I would say you want to have at least 4 out of 6 of the classes covered for that 6-star Awakening Gem, because it's going to feel so bad to be holding on to that for so long. But if you're going to pick that up, I could make an argument for seeing this 18k total value worth it. I'm just, again, surprised not to see tier 2 alpha, tier 4 basic, tier 1 alpha, just basic building blocks to resources that we need in the game. I'm a little surprised. That said, I'm going to jump over to Cavalier. So going through Cavalier, the first thing I want to do is I want to say thank you to Meister. He asked me to say this, which is, I, J Silver, would like to greet all Polish players, I believe. This is how it's pronounced.
Pozdrawiają wszystkich polskich graczy.
Well, I'm going to try it again. Hold on.
Pozdrawiają wszystkich polskich graczy.
And I am so sorry for butchering that, but that's what he wanted as a shout out. Meister, thank you for sending me the deals, man. You really did me a solid. That said, for the $5 bundle, this is where you have your first access to the tier 4 basic, tier 5 basic, and actually between the 2 instances, this is strictly better. For the tier 4 class catalyst, this is one of the 2 places you can get tier 4 class catalyst, and again, this is strictly battle. So if we're talking about bang for your buck in the form of tier 5 basic and tier 4 CC, the $5 bundle is where you want to live. For the 6-star shards, on the $10 bundle, you get 350 for purchasing the $10 bundle, 350 per dollar, of course, and 1,500 5-star shards per dollar as well. Now, if we're just talking raw quantity of shards, these blow the higher deals out the water, so you do want to pick up the $10 deal if we're talking strictly quantity. For the $30 bundle, we see 250 6-star shards and your first access at tier 2 alpha. I will note that this is technically less tier 2 alpha than the Odins, but if you care about just having the raw tier 2 alpha potentially for a 6-star or something, this is a better deal, and it still helps you dip into that 6-star pool. I'd say if you're in a later stage Cavalier player, this bundle has more value than like the $10 bundle or potentially even the Odins, if you know you're really trying to push quantity over quality. For the $50 bundle, we see 1,000 5-star shards, 0.1 RNG based tier 5 class catalyst, so you do have tier 5 CC accessible to you. And then 6-star shards, 6 stones. This is your only access to 6-star 6 stones, which I personally don't think you should be picking up if you're Cavalier. I just think that that's a resource you want to focus on later because they're going to have higher value and will get higher quantities in the future. I just put that off on a later date. I will also comment that if you're Cavalier looking for 5-star 6 stones, $30 bundle is the only place, but it's a pretty good amount at 1.67. In the Odins, we see 100 shards as a Nexus crystal in the form. 0.02 tier 5 basic. This is via a 4 to 5 rank up gem. So if you don't really care about 5-star rank ups, do keep in mind that the tier 5 basic here isn't actually tier 5 basic, it's in the rank up gem. Tier 2 alpha, you have 0.03 or a total of 3 for the whole bundle, just raw, but you do see an additional 0.06 per dollar in the form of that rank up gem. So this is 9 tier 2 alpha on the Odins. So this is a lot of value if you still are ranking up 5 stars. Just keep that in mind. You do see a little bit of tier 1 alpha in the form of that rank up gem. Again, the same quantity of tier 5 CC, so if this is all you're hunting, the Odins and the $50 deal have the same value. And then again, tier 4 CC in the form of the rank up gem, just kind of a part of, if you're ranking up rank 5 stars. So I think from a Cavalier perspective, if you're like newly minted Cavalier, I would not worry too much about the 6-star shards. Base your evaluation on what you want to buy, mostly on the 5-star shards. I do think this is more important. And again, if you're newly minted Cavalier, I would even argue that the Odins is really good value because you get those 4 to 5 and you're going to have more classes to dip into to rank up, as well as the 51. So you can probably standard buy off the top, but if you're like later Cavalier, you're really going to need to pick and choose based on what you're looking for. I think the Odin loses a lot of value when you're not interested in rank 4 to 5ing a 5-star. Like the instant that's no longer an interest, this 6-star Nexus just isn't as shiny and pretty to me. I'd rather go over quantity in that case because it's not a Nexus class crystal like it is for Thronebreaker. It's just a regular Nexus, and in that case, I just take quantity over quality, especially when the quantity is over 3 times. Because remember, a Nexus is a choice of 3. So if you're legitimately just pulling 3 times as many crystals, then this is worth more because you're just getting the 6 stars as well. So do keep that in mind. I do think that the $10 6-star shards is technically better if you're really looking to build that 6-star roster. That said, I'll jump into the unit deals themselves. For the 1,000 units as a Cavalier player, you have access to essentially a 5-star basic, 5-star featured, which is weird that you get this as Cavalier, but not as whatever. But essentially a 5-star featured. You get 5 tier 4 basic, 3 tier 4 CC, 2 tier 2 alpha, and tier 1 alpha. Just like weirdly enough, this is not the greatest. I actually feel like the numbers are low, but it's an okay as far as a 1,000 unit deal goes. It's legitimately okay. It's actually definitely worth looking at. You get a 5-star awakening gem. I wish it was a generic instead. Another featured crystal, which is weird to not see an increase in value here. I would have liked to see like 20,000. 75-star 6 stones, 3,000 6-star hero crystal shards, a 5-star Nexus hero crystal, and 6 tier 2 alphas. I think that if you're Cavalier, depending on where you're at in the game, just like the first 5,000 units could be really impactful in the form of ranking up, sigging up, and pulling rosters. So I actually do think for a Cavalier player, there's a lot of really good potential, especially since you can theoretically push Act 6, completion, etc. You know, theoretically unitless. So I do think that there's a lot more value in these 5,000 units, but again, if you have those 5,000 units and you can just push Abyss of Legends completion instead, I would do that as well. For the 10,000 units, it's a 4 to 5 rank up gem, a tier 5 basic, 10 tier 2 alpha, 20,000 6-star hero crystal shards, 150 5-star sigs, and then that extra 3k brings you a 6-star awakened gem crystal as well. Even more so for Cavalier, I actually think these values on the resources hit the mark for what I would expect from 10k. Maybe that's just me. I just think that this is like actually solid. The major note I would like to point here is even on the 10k deal, I would have liked to see some 5-star shards. I would have liked to see maybe 25,000 5-star shards here. I know they really amped the 5-star shards on the 5k deal, but it would have been nice to have just a little bit more. I think what makes it so Cyber Weekend deals so impressive is just quantity of pulls. And I would have liked to see that, but even then, I think for a Cavalier player, depending on where you're at, there could be really good value here, and it's nice that Cavalier players also have access to the 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal, because that's honestly like the thing that I thought was Thronebreaker's real value. So it's nice to see that in Cavalier as well. Really, really connects the dots. Finally, I'm going over Uncollected. Thank you, Matt O'Malley. All hail the great mighty Toad. For Uncollected players, on the $5 bundle, you get access to 1,400 5-star shards per dollar plus 0.4 of a legendary crystal, because you do get 2 legendary crystals here. The reason I put the asterisk there is because, you know, depending on how your luck goes on a legendary crystal, it's probably just a 4-star. So this is probably a 4-star. You should go in with that mentality, but if you're looking for shards, this is a strictly better raw value deal. Again, I come right back to my conversation about the Nexus Crystal with the 3 times that I was going over for Cavalier. The Nexus Crystal is a selectivity of 3. So from selectivity or quality standpoint, you should think of the shards as 3 times the value of a regular shard. So when you are looking at 100 Nexus shards, that's 300 plus 250, that's 550. What you really need to think is, okay, I need to beat 550 shards per dollar in order to be getting more value than the Odins. The $5 deal blows that out the water with 1,400. So if we're talking about value of 5-star shards, go to the $5 deal. It's just strictly better in 5-star shards value. Because what does selectivity matters if you're opening more than 3 times the number of crystals? You wouldn't pick which one of the 3 you want. You just get all 3. That's how that works. So the $5 deal as far as 5-star shards is strictly better. For the $10 deal, you get some tier 4 basic, as well as I need to delete this, sorry. 3.5 5-star 6 stones per dollar. So this is your major value source of 5-star 6 stones. And again, you do get 5-star 6 stones in the $100 deal, but it's significantly less. So if you're looking for 5-star 6 as an uncollected player, go to the $10 deal. And this is your only access for tier 4 basic. For the $30 bundle, you have access to tier 5 basic, but it is less tier 5 basic than the $50 bundle. So if you're hunting tier 5 basic, I would look at the $50 bundle or the Odins. The more money you can spend here, the better return rate you're getting on tier 5 basic. But the $30 and the $50 bundle both have the same return rate on tier 2 alpha. So if that's your major push, you know, you can sit comfortable there. But the $30 bundle does come with tier 4 class catalyst selectors. It's the only one here. So if that's something you're needing, then this is where you're going to get it. And the 50 bundle, instead, you are seeing 6-star shards, which in my opinion, if you're uncollected, I wouldn't focus too much on that. So if the $5 bundle, the extra tier 5 basic really makes that sell, you don't need that tier 4 CC, then go for the 50. But don't let the 6-star shards sell you on it and opt not to take the tier 4 CC. If you don't need the 6-star, if you don't need that extra bit of tier 5 basic, grab the tier 4 CC because that's going to bring you longer value in the long run. You can think about 6 stars when you're a Cavalier player. For the $50 bundle, we already talked about it. For the $100 bundle, this is the Nexus, which is nice and shiny. So if you're full whaling out, enjoy. And the higher value of tier 5 basic, and then the lower value of 5-star 6 stones. It's just my opinion. Oh, and then the Awakening Gem. So if you really need that Awakening Gem, this is the value. It's my opinion that for your typical uncollected player, I don't think this $100 bundle is worth it. I think the numbers are just really poor. So unless you're whaling out, it can be good, but I would honestly really recommend, if you're an uncollected player and you're looking to buy hundreds of dollars worth of deals, I would really recommend picking up some of these lower ones first, trying to use those units to make a push for Cavalier, and then just being Cavalier and having access to just strictly better deals. Just flat out strictly better deals. So that's my thoughts on that. And then finally, I'll talk about the uncollected unit deals. So for uncollected, you have access to 3 tier 4 basic, 3 tier 4 CC, half a 5-star crystal, 1 tier 2 alpha, and 5 tier 1 alpha, and 20 5-star signature stones. This is pretty good. It's honestly pretty good. I would have liked to see closer to 7,500 5-star shards, but I'm greedy. It is weird to see 3 tier 4 basic. I would have liked to see closer to 4 and 4 there and there, but honestly not that bad for 1,000 units at an uncollected level. For 4,000 units, it's 3 tier 2 alpha, so between this deal and the other one, this is a rank 4 5-star, so that's pretty dope. This is where you can get another 5-star awakening gem, further reducing the value of the Odins in my opinion. 5 tier 4 basic, 5 tier 4 CC crystals, I would have liked those to be selectors. Another 5 tier 1 alpha, it should be 10, and 10,000 5-star hero crystal shards. Again, they give you 6-star shards here as well, but I really wish they had just omitted it and given you like twice as many 5-star crystal shards. 6 stars are pretty, they're nice and they're shiny, but if you're uncollected, focus on your 5-star roster. It just means way more. Don't fall into the hype of 6 stars. You're not there yet. That's my opinion. You're better off focusing on breadth and depth of your roster rather than nice and shiny, because even if you pull an Omega tier 6-star, if it needs awakening, you can't do anything about it. If it needs high sig, it's literally useless to you. So you're better off focusing on 5 stars. Still, overall, for 4,000 units, it's really not bad, but when I look at a 5,000 unit total here, my first thought is you should be pushing Cavalier for 5,000 units. So I would really draw caution there. But if you're like newer uncollected and you're trying to get into the game and really get that big boost, this is worth 5,000 units so far. I would say that value is definitely there. And then finally, the 10,000 units. 100 5-star 6 stones, which is a pretty good return rate. A tier 5 basic, I think it should be 2. 4 tier 2 alpha should be 6. 5,000 6-star shards should be 30,000 5-star crystals, 5-star shards, 10 tier 1 alpha, that's solid, and a 3 to 4 5-star rank up gem should be 4 and 5. And then the 3,000 unit bundle gets you a 6-star crystal, a 5-star nexus, which is actually really worth. Like if you've gone all the way up here for an extra 3,000 units, you should pick that up. Because even if I'm like against the values of 6 stars, if you're getting a whole one, you know, the value there changes just in the completion of it. But overall, I'm going to say it's probably worth picking up all of these deals if you really have these units, but only if you can't push Cavalier. Like, if you can just push Cavalier, you should do that instead. That's my opinion. I do think content over deals, but, you know, I'll leave that up to all of you. That said, I hope some of you find this useful. I am sorry it was very opinionated. If you disagree with me, feel free to let me know why. Let me know what you get. Let me know if you get something amazing or you feel like you got burned. I want to hear it. I live on the salt. As always, though, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.